The Boston Celtics have completely turned their season around after going from as low as the 11th seed in the Eastern Conference earlier in the year to now being number 1 in the East. They look nearly unstoppable, and a lot of that is due to the incredible play that we've seen from Jayson Tatum. He's gone as far as dropping 50 points twice this year, and he's got the third most 30-point games in the NBA this season with 15. After starting out the season in a bit of a slump, he's taken a gigantic leap and become one of the most lethal scorers in the entire NBA, averaging 32.2 points per game on 66% true shooting since the All-Star break. He's taken the leap to superstardom, and the Boston Celtics are heading into the playoffs with arguably the most momentum of any team in the league. It's not just his scoring that's made him what he is over this last stretch of the season. It's all the other stuff that he's doing on top of it that's made him go from a rising star to a legitimate top 10 player in the NBA. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. But real quick, only 5% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed. So if you enjoy this video and you love the NBA, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's free and it helps me out a ton. All of that being said, let's get right into it. Not only have the Celtics been the best defensive team in the NBA this year with a defensive rating of 106.6, but they also have the best net rating post All-Star break with a ridiculous 13.2 net rating. They look nearly unstoppable, thanks in large part to the level of play that we've gotten from Tatum over this stretch of games since the All-Star break. An area of his game that's gone a bit overlooked is how much his playmaking has developed. That 4.3 assists per game that he's averaging is a little bit deceiving because he's doing a lot more for them in regards to generating offense than the box score is going to indicate. He's really starting to leverage the defensive attention that he gets as a way to generate easy looks for his teammates. I talk about scoring gravity all the time, and Jayson Tatum has no shortage of it. This play is a great example. Horford is going to set an initial screen on Cade, and Robert Williams fakes the stagger screen. When Smart sends the ball to Tatum, he's going to have the attention of 3 separate defenders. Rob Williams played it perfectly and he makes the right cut, and Tatum just threads the needle through the defense to find him for the easy dunk. Similar situation on this play, he comes off the screen from Williams and he's using his eyes to make the defense think that he's looking to make the pass to Williams on the cut. Brogdon, Jackson, and Halliburton are all preparing for what he's going to do, and by eyeing the paint, they're preparing for him to drive or make the pass to Robert Williams, and instead, he just makes a quick no-look pass to Smart, who drains the 3. He's able to manipulate the defense with his scoring gravity, which is a trait that elite players oftentimes possess. Guys like LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Giannis all use the threat of their scoring capability to generate offense for their teammates. It's one thing for Jayson Tatum to demand a significant amount of attention from the defense. It's another thing to actively make use of that defensive attention as a means of creating offense for your team. He's getting really creative as well, not just operating in set pieces. His ability to drive and kick out to shooters has improved significantly, and he's been setting guys up for wide open looks pretty frequently. Here he gets into the paint, and he ends up in a situation with 4 defenders nearby once he gets inside. Instead of going up for a contested layup, he instead just kicks it out to Pritchard, who drains the 3. This is the kind of stuff that I've loved to see from Jayson Tatum. He's not trying to take the contested looks anymore. He's kicking out to the guys who are open and opting for the better shot. He's operating within the flow of the offense in the system that Ime Udoka has crafted for them, and it does a great job of capitalizing on the attention that Tatum demands from the opposing team. He isn't stopping the ball and dominating the time of possession. He's either creating a shot or keeping it moving, and he doesn't waste time doing either of those things. Now, the more obvious draw with Tatum is his incredible scoring ability during this second half of the season. Since the All-Star break, he's averaging 32.3 points per game, the 3rd most in the entire league. He's actually one of only 8 players in the NBA averaging over 30 points per game on 60% true shooting since the All-Star break, and he's the only guy among the top 3 in scoring that's played more than 15 games. Anyone who's been following my channel for a while knows that I love Jayson Tatum, but I will be the first person to admit that in the past, he was notorious for putting up some bad shots and settling for contested looks. That's not been the case for him. He's very much been playing within the flow of the offense, using what his teammates give, both directly and indirectly, to get himself a good look at the basket. He's actually averaging the 4th most points per touch in the league among all players, averaging 70 touches or more per game. He's not hunting contested mid-range shots nearly as much as he was last year, which is something that frustrated me, and I'm sure it frustrated Celtics fans. The best part is that he's still very capable of dominating and taking over a game when he needs to, but he's not stopping the ball, which is a very important distinction that I want to make. He doesn't need to have the ball in his hands to create a shot anymore. He can do it through off-ball movement and offensive sets that are designed to create efficient looks for him. This here is a really simple play, but he's going to give the ball up to Smart, and then he immediately makes the cut to the basket, and Smart finds him for an easy 2 points. In this play, he's not even a primary actor, instead just being camped out in the corner. When the defense collapses on the roll, it leaves Tatum wide open in the corner for Smart to find for a wide open corner 3. Now watch this inbound play. Pritchard is going to set the screen on Tatum's man immediately upon the inbound, and Horford gets the ball to Theis. Tatum makes the perfect cut off of Pritchard's screen, and he gets the entry pass from Theis to get an easy look. I gotta give a ton of credit, not only to Jayson Tatum, but once again to Ime Udoka for the awesome X's and O's stuff that he's exhibited this year. He's got this team operating like a well-oiled offensive and defensive machine. He's got Tatum putting up the best numbers of his career. And not only that, but defensively, Jayson Tatum has been able to contribute at a very high level since the Celtics turned things around and became this defensive powerhouse. He's been making the most out of that 6'8" frame that he has, showing some of the versatility that I was always hoping he'd show on the defensive end. This is a play from their win last night against the Timberwolves. Tatum is pulled up guarding Cat, somebody who is much bigger than him, and Tatum just takes his drive and keeps him in front of him and refuses to get beat, and then he eventually forces Cat to turn the ball over. He certainly benefits from having guys like Marcus Smart and Robert Williams alongside him, but he's being utilized on the defensive end in such a way that it enables him to succeed in a team context. All of this has culminated into an incredibly well-rounded player. He can score, he can play make, he can defend. He's developing into that Swiss Army knife of a superstar that I knew he would be capable of. Last offseason, I predicted he'd be in MVP conversations, and at the start of the year, that take was looking a little bit rough, but at this point, there's merit to the idea that Jayson Tatum deserves to be, at the very least, mentioned among all of the potential candidates for MVP. He's been the best scorer on the best offensive and defensive team in the NBA since the All-Star break, and he's played a huge role in getting the Boston Celtics to the #1 seed in the East. He's been so good that since the All-Star break, the Celtics have only had 2 games that came down to clutch time. They've won 9 of their last 10, and despite the unfortunate news that Robert Williams is going to miss some time with a meniscus tear, they're still holding all of the momentum in the NBA heading into the postseason. We have to start talking about them as legitimate threats to come out of the Eastern Conference. Their defense is incredible, and with Jayson Tatum poised to have another incredible postseason showing like he did last year, there's no telling how far they can go. To me, Jayson Tatum is pretty easily a top 10 player in the NBA this year. The fact that he's only 24 means that he's not even close to his full potential. The sky really is the limit, and if everyone can get healthy, the Celtics led by Tatum are going to be a very tough out in the playoffs. So, do you think that Jayson Tatum is a top 10 player in the NBA? Should he be an MVP candidate? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Like I mentioned earlier, only 5% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed to the channel, so if you're new, why not considering hitting that subscribe button and leaving a like? It's totally free and it helps me out a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.